Are you kidding me? I don't have my mic on the whole time. All right. That's just horrible. That is just horrible. All right. So should we start over again? Hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravelin coming to you from Chicago. As usual, I got a couple good clips. I've got Round Hal out of control, even though I love her. I think she's wrong on this one. And I've got a nice clip I stole from Old Squishy Gardner. And I'm going to have to go back and and edit out the 2 minutes I did without a microphone. Oh, yeah. I told you that I had a cocktail here. I had a cocktail to make up for missing Friday happy hour. All right, let's get this party started now that you can hear me.
Call the case, Ms. Parker, please.
The case is, Your Honor, 2018 DCV 0585.
Nuvasive versus
East. Yes, it's Nuvasive Inc. versus East El Paso Physicians Medical Center, LLC, doing business as Foundation Surgical Hospital of El Paso.
Announcement of counsel, please.
It's Skylar Parker on behalf of Nuvasive Inc. with the law firm Wick Phillips Gould and Martin.
Mark White for the defendant, Your Honor.
Anybody else here on this case?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
It is incredulous to me how disrespectful you all are. How disrespectful. 20 minutes before a scheduled hearing, you say we don't need it anymore. Nobody has the respect, the professional courtesy to show up and say, Judge, we don't need this anymore.
Okay, so here's where I find this hard to take. I've been doing this for over 25 years now. When I come rolling into court and say, Judge, we settled it, I mean universally for 25 years through hundreds of judges, I've had, oh, that is fantastic, counsel. That's great news. Let's enter that dismissal order. That's what I hear. I don't hear any crying like, oh, I really wanted to hold a hearing and make a decision where I'm going to get somebody mad at me. Judges love it when you resolve something. They love it. Then they don't have to make a decision. And it's not because they're lazy, but it's better. And if the parties agree, you have an agreed settlement is always preferable. That means everybody said, okay. There's less chance of problems going forward. They don't have to irritate anybody. They don't have to sit there and listen to a bunch of boring testimony for an hour and a half. I literally don't understand why she's upset that they resolve something. Apparently she thinks they should have told her sooner. I mean, things resolve like as you're approaching hearing or trial all the time. That's when they resolve. I've picked a jury, had them sitting in the box, gone back in chambers and settled the case more than once. That's when the pressure's on. That's when things resolve. I don't know where she's coming from, and I am fond of Judge Ranhel. I just think she's out of her mind in this case. You guys tell me. I know I've got a lot of attorneys in there. Also, I could be missing something. They may have done a bunch of stuff where they were blowing her off in the past, but that doesn't appear in the video. And these attorneys are super nice. I don't know. You tell me. Let's do number one if she's out of line. Or number two, if you think these attorneys are out of line in the chat. I want to get a gauge of this.
Yes, Your Honor, this is completely my fault. Mr. White, I had told him that the hearing was canceled, so it's not on him. It is on me. We had settled the matter and also settled a new matter, and it was my fault. I take complete blame on this. I should have showed up and let you know about the settlement. So I apologize. I agree it was disrespectful and it will not happen again.
And Your Honor, that's not entirely true. We take responsibility as well, Judge. There was some delay in responding with some emails with counsel to sort of finalize our agreement. And so
oh man, this female attorney just throws herself on her sword like a champ and just wants to take the hit for everybody here. Could not be more professional about it. Her opposing counsel then decides he's going to take some of this himself, and they're both apologetic. I don't know how you can be mad at them.
Some of that was on my part, Your Honor, and so we apologize for any inconvenience that it caused the court.
It's not an inconvenience, sir. It's a disrespect. I'm here. I have a docket. It's not inconvenience, sir. It's total, blatant disrespect, sir. And there seems to be a systematic disrespect with out-of-town lawyers consistently in my court. You feel you don't have to show up in El Paso County for any cases that are set for hearings or trials, whatever. So don't take cases in El Paso County if you continue with this disrespect. Stay in the counties you're at.
This is just undeniably out of hand. I don't care what the context is. They can take cases wherever they like. If they're officers of the court and members of the bar, and someone hires them, and it's before you, they can take that case whether you like it or not, Judge. Are you suggesting that you're going to preclude licensed attorneys in the state of Texas from practicing law before you? I mean, that's a crazy statement to make. It really is. I know she doesn't mean it, and she's on a rant, but that's not something you let out, verbally. Certainly not while you're being recorded.
We've got some great, capable, awesome El Paso attorneys. Let them handle the cases here. If you continue with this disrespect, and somehow, some way, because of the systematic disrespect that I get every single time from out-of-town lawyers, apologies do not cut it, Miss Parker. This is never going to happen again.
Yes, Your Honor, I completely understand.
Yes, Your Honor.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Don't make Oscar beg. It's rude.
Were you?
Okay, I'm pretty excited. I might see Oscar this evening. I might get Oscar squeezes. Yeah, you all know how much that means to me. But again, I'm very fond of Judge Ron Hell, but for whatever reason, I've seen that a couple other times. I held off on it because I don't think it makes her look good. But then I thought, you know what, I'll just say it in context. You don't always agree with everybody about everything. That's okay. And I don't know the whole story. Maybe she's right. Maybe they did a bunch of nasty stuff behind the scenes. But from what I can gather, it's two attorneys who resolved a matter, and 99 out of 100 judges would be very thankful and grateful that they, A, don't have to sit through that hearing, and B, don't have to make a ruling, and the parties have come to a resolution. That is considered a win-win in 99% of the courts in the country.
On 2 weeks ago when that guy was insisting that Deputy Richardson was a woman?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that was a fun one. At one point he said, I know it was a woman that gave me my ticket, so unless this deputy was wearing women's clothes on that day, and I said, oh, he was wearing women's clothes. And the guy said, what? I said, well, the uniform for a female deputy and the male deputy are the same.
The same.
Right.
So on that day, he definitely was wearing a uniform of a female Washtenaw County Sheriff's deputy. That guy filed an appeal.
Well, of course he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he always stops at the stop sign.
Oh,
Always.
The video.
The video,
Damn.
yeah, the video, he like barely even slows down, but he said that wasn't true. All right, well, that was, here we go.
Exciting.
He was dressed like a woman. This was a woman.
Well, all of the sheriff's department deputies wear the same uniform, so you're right. Deputy Richardson was dressed like a female sheriff's deputy on that day. That's true.
He was?
Sure.
All right, for those of you who haven't seen this in the prior video, also, I don't know. I did a prior video on this case. I did it when they had the trial that we're looking at right now, and I can't remember where it is, but this is the follow up to that. He appeals the decision of I think it's Magistrate Fink, and we end up in front of Fresh Hour. But this is impressive too for Old Squishy Gardner. By the way, if you haven't, go over there, like and subscribe. He put all this stuff together. This isn't all one hearing. I don't know how he even found all this, but it had to be hours of like combing through stuff to put all this together in one package.
They all wear the same uniform.
You see the
Okay.
stop sign?
Now watch the stop sign. This is your vehicle approaching and driving right through.
That doesn't show me stopping. Okay?
Right.
It doesn't show. It's
Yeah, it doesn't show you stopping, and that's the problem. That's what you got written a ticket for.
Stop. I stopped. Richardson is a male. This woman
Yes.
was a female. So there's some kind of question about that. So go
Okay.
ahead. I'll appeal it.
All righty. Thank you.
Oh, shame on you for wearing a woman's uniform.
I've been told my voice is sometimes feminine. It's okay.
How did he not see your mustache?
It was dark. I don't know.
Case number 22W001290, York Township versus Brian Talaski.
Victor Lilick for York Township, Your Honor.
It looks like he's having some audio issues. He's been trying to connect for a little while, so I will pass this. Maybe he'll figure that out. Is Talaski a hearing?
No, Your Honor. Well, I don't know, Your Honor. If he's present, my officer's present.
Thank you, Leafy.
I'd like to talk to the guy if I
Okay,
could.
we can put Mr. Lilich, Deputy Richardson, and Mr. Talaski into a breakout room together. Mr. Talaski, we're putting you in a breakout room with the prosecutor and the officer. Oh, there he goes. So it looks like we're just waiting for Mr. Talaski to come back in.
And let me explain, Your Honor. Thank you for the breakout room with Mr. Talaski. He was non-responsive in the breakout room. He was muted the entire time. I tried to talk to him, didn't get any responses back.
Mr. Talaski, can you unmute your phone, please? You press star 6. Mr. Talaski, can you hear us?
Is he back out of the?
His number ends in 3. Mr. Talaski, can you hear us? Mr. Talaski, can you hear us? He's unmuted, so I'm not really sure what the issue is.
I don't know either, Your Honor. I did try to talk to him while we were in the breakout room. I made an offer and explained to him that if we can't get it resolved today, if we have to have an in-person hearing, that offer would not be on the table. So I don't know. I don't know what else to do, Your Honor.
Perhaps you can try calling him to that number.
Well, I suppose I could.
So I'm going to have to adjourn this. I don't know what's going on with his audio.
Is that his number right there?
It is his number.
To Your Honor, I have hearings at 1 o'clock also.
He's done.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to call him.
Okay, so I'm going to adjourn his case to August 2nd, 2022 at 11 a.m. and we will send him notice.
Well, Your Honor, I mean, the officer's here. He has to be back here for a 1 o'clock hearing. He's scheduled for one. Actually, I have those cases resolved, but if I can get him to come back at 1 o'clock, we can take
If he
care
can
of
get
it.
his audio to work, sure, I'm happy to call it.
All right. All right.
We're going to be in recess until 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
I don't remember what date. We sent it for the 27th, didn't we? Mr. Talaski, can you press star 6?
Hello?
Mr. Talaski, we adjourned your case to July 27th at 9 a.m. and that's going to be in person at the 14A4 District Court.
Okay, wait a minute. 27 July.
At 9 a.m.
Okay, July. And that's in Saline. Go ahead. Hello?
In Saline at
Hello?
9 a.m.
Is that in Saline? Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, real fine. I'll be there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
I don't know.
Stop it.
Case number 22W001290. This is York Township versus Brian Talaski.
Morning, Your Honor. Victor Lilick on behalf of York Township. We're here for a formal hearing. Mr. Talaski is present.
Sir, can you step forward and say your name? Scott?
Brian Talaski, ma'am.
And who are you, sir?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
I'm hard of hearing too. I don't have hearing aid, so.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And what are we doing today?
Well, unfortunately, we have not been able to resolve this case, Your Honor. Probably going to happen.
Okay, we could do that right now.
Okay, we're standing. But
You can have a seat at the table, sir.
this is a stop sign violation.
Could you speak in the microphone so that way we can make sure that he can hear you a little better?
All right. This is a stop sign violation that occurred on 3/15 of this year, about 9 o'clock, 9:12 in the evening. The officer was there. His video was running. We have video of the incident. We're ready to proceed at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Tulaski, would you like to make an opening statement?
Yes, ma'am. On that day coming through, I had just changed my direction how I was going to go back to Monroe. I was going down to Carpenter through this interchange, down to Willow, and then go east. I had been going down Willis to Whitaker and then going east. So I was, I had to watch, make sure. I hadn't been through there for several weeks. So I had to be very careful. There were no traffic, what was going on, anything new in there. What I noted in this photo that the officer presented, there's a store there, or not a store, a garage. Somebody would do repairs. And when I came through there was a big pickup truck, and there was a foreign car parked next to that island. And
Yeah, okay. But you didn't stop at the stop sign.
that would be, you couldn't see the stop sign. So, and for weeks that sat there. And when I finally saw people there, I stopped and told them about the incident and asked them to put a no trespassing sign, but then they cleared it all out. So it's all clear. This is the picture they had. They started to repair vehicles. And so when the officer stopped me, and it was a woman stopped me, I told her I believed I stopped because there was no traffic, 9 o'clock at night, out in the boondocks. So I stopped. As far as I'm concerned, I stopped. I went through the intersection.
As far as I'm concerned, I stopped. Also, you saw the officer that arrested him with the full beard. He doesn't look like a woman at all, not remotely.
And they were sitting there way out of nowhere. So, okay.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lilich, do you have any witnesses for the people?
Thank you, Your Honor. Called Officer Jeremiah Richardson of Washington County.
Jeremiah Richardson, JEREMIAHRICHARESON.
Officer Richardson, where are you employed?
Washington County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you been with the department?
Over 10 years.
All right. And what are your normal duties with the department?
I'm assigned to road patrol. On this date, I was assigned to York Township in Washington County, Michigan.
All right. And were you working on March 15, 2022?
Yes.
Doing your normal duties, road patrol?
Yes.
And do you recall at some time around 9 o'clock coming into a contact with Ryan Tulaski?
Yes.
And is he in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
Can you point to him and describe a little bit of what he's wearing?
Yes, he's sitting at the table right there. A blue or grayish shirt with a flag on it.
All right. Record should reflect that he's identified the respondent in this case, Your Honor.
So noted.
And can you, let me just, can I approach the witness with this? All right, I've handed you what we're going to call the plaintiff's exhibit 1, all right? Can you identify what that is?
Yes, it's a Google map image that I printed out this morning to provide to Mr. Tulaski. It shows the intersection of Carpenter Road and Stony Creek, which where I was sitting on March 15th.
All right, I request for submission.
Any objection or voir dire, or any questions for him regarding this picture? Mr. Tulaski,
Any questions for him?
regarding this photo and its admission?
Do you have any objections to the exact? I marked it to.
So no objection to that being admitted into evidence, sir, is that correct?
Say what?
Do you have any objection to it being added into evidence?
No.
Okay. People's proposed exhibit 1 is admitted.
All right, so Officer Richardson, where were you located when you first saw Mr. Tulaski?
I was parked stationary in the northwest corner on Carpenter and Stony Creek. In this Google image, it depicts a garage where Mr. Tulaski also referred to that parking lot. I was parked there and I was facing southbound.
All right, and is there a driveway at that garage location where you were parked?
Yes, that is north of the stop sign.
Is there a copy for the court to review?
Yeah.
Thank you. Officer, you indicated you were on Stony Creek or Carpenter?
On Carpenter Road.
Okay, thank you.
You were on Carpenter Road, and where were you? You were parked in that parking lot that was next to the garage there?
Correct.
Which direction was your vehicle pointing?
Southbound.
All right. And when you first observed Mr. Tulaski, which direction was he driving in?
Southbound.
All right. So he was southbound on Carpenter Road there?
Correct, towards Stony Creek.
All right. And then what did you observe?
I had a clear view of the intersection. I've said that at that intersection before for people disobeying the stop sign. I also sit at four-way intersections to look for impaired drivers. As he approached southbound, I observed him fail to stop at the stop sign as he continued southbound past Stony Creek.
Okay. So did you stop at the stop sign? What did you do?
I then traveled southbound after his vehicle activated the patrol vehicle emergency lights and then initiated a traffic stop.
All right. And did you have a conversation with Mr. Tulaski?
Yes, I worked by myself down in York Township. So I was the lone deputy that night. I approached his driver door and I had asked him any reason why he didn't stop for the stop time. He stated that he did, and I subsequently issued him a citation for disobeying the stop sign.
And I guess I don't have anything more except for, Your Honor, I do have video of the incident. It's on my computer. I'm not certain if I could put it up on the screen there or how you want to get it.
If we're able to just play it on the screen,
Right.
it might be easier.
Whatever works, Your Honor.
We just need the cords that connect it. And this is a video that, sir, you've seen? Mr. Tulaski, have you seen this video?
Excuse me?
Have you seen this video?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any objection with the prosecutor showing me this video?
No. Other than I never saw it before. Okay.
Wait, have you had an opportunity to review this video?
Yes. Today.
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor. By the approach or?
Well, can we lay some foundation before it's admitted?
I'm sorry?
Can we lay some foundation for its admission?
Okay, that's kind of interesting because she goes out of her way to make sure that he says he doesn't object to it and he's seen it before, but then she wants to she sua sponte objects, which she can do. That's fine, but she can also just let it in at this point. There's been no objection to it, and he's just offering it into evidence. Without objection, it sort of goes in. But she wants the record to be clear on this. She's confident he can lay a foundation, but she actually makes him do it.
Officer Richardson, is your patrol car and equipped with video?
Yes.
All right. Was it equipped with video that evening?
Yes.
And was that video system operating correctly?
Yes.
And did you record the incident?
Yes.
And do you also have body cam? We don't need the body cam, so we just have the video of the car.
Could you show him so we can verify that this is the video he submitted from his police car?
I can do that. I can throw chart.
Yes.
Yes, that's the video for my patrol vehicle 57.
Thank you. Any objection to admission of this video? People's proposed exhibit number 2 is admitted. Would you like me to review it right now? Counsel, I don't know how much of this video you would like me to watch.
Any more than just the vehicle going through the stop sign, Your Honor, I think.
This is the point where the vehicle is pulled over now.
Yes.
Okay. I did review it. Thank you.
No, I guess I don't have it.
I have to check it out.
Okay. Mr. Tulaski, it's your opportunity to cross-examine the witness. Do you have any questions? Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Were you in uniform?
Yes.
Were you with anybody else?
No.
All right, okay. The picture that you showed shows no vehicles, no obstruction. At the time when I went through, and that was the first time I'd gone through there in weeks, there was a big pickup truck, dually, and a small foreign car parked parallel to the road, adjacent to that small island. So you could not see what I had been doing.
Okay, so now he's testifying. He's not asking a question. He's offering a defense that the sign was obstructed. That defense is in conflict with his defense that he did in fact stop. He also has another defense where I guess it's a reasonable doubt sort of defense where he says that he was ticketed by a woman. None of these three go together, but he's carrying on like this. The judge cuts him off appropriately here in just a second.
From 100 feet, 20, 50 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet. And I was coming through the first time. I had to be very careful. And so I stopped. When the light went blink, it was blink, it goes stop, go, stop, go. I stopped and I went through at probably 10 miles per hour. And then some officer pulled me.
So, Mr. Tulaski, this is your opportunity to ask him questions. You will have an opportunity to tell your version of the story, but if you have questions for the officer, now you can ask him.
Did you notice any vehicles? Did you see me beyond, going south, any activity that I had?
Was there a clear, did I have a clear view of the intersection of the stop sign?
Yeah.
Yes, I did have a clear view, and I would also say that the video, as you're approaching southbound, it shows your headlights also reflecting upon that building, but I also have a clear view, which just the Google Maps
didn't see
shows you.
anything prior up to that stop sign, because there was obstructions there. So,
I had no obstruction, sir.
yes, there was. And for weeks they sat there until I stopped.
Is there a question?
Say what?
Is there a question for the officer? Thank you. Any further redirect?
So he's making reference to some vehicles that are parked parallel to the road. Did you see anything like that out there?
I had a clear view. I don't, at this point in time, I don't recall having any vehicles in my sitting there with me. That garage is generally probably occupied during the day, maybe a couple times during the week. What I recall was a small little passenger car parked in the parking lot, but regardless, I have a clear view of the intersection.
There was nothing that was obstructing your vehicle's view from that intersection.
Correct.
And in fact, the video actually demonstrates that.
What are you talking about, Beverly?
Thank you.
Can I have a question, please?
Yes. It has to be regarding what he just testified to.
Did I say anything to you? Go ahead. At the time you stopped, if you were there?
I believe you said that you thought you did stop or something.
Say what?
I believe you said that you thought you did stop, but I don't recall your exact statement.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
May this witness be excused. Thank you. Any further witnesses from the people? Mr. Tulaski, do you have any witnesses or would you like to testify?
Thank you.
Do I want to testify anything?
Correct. It's your opportunity to either testify or call witnesses on your behalf.
Sure.
Okay. If you could come up and be sworn by the officer.
Brian Pulaski. Go ahead,
If you could spell your name for the record, please.
ma'am.
Can you spell your name for the record, please?
Brian Talaske, Talaske. Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. You can
Am I
testify.
saying?
You can tell us what happened.
Okay, I traveled between Whitmore Lake and Monroe because I moved to Monroe, and I was doing that every day because I was moving some furniture, and I have horses still in Whitmore Lake, and I had to go every day 50 miles one way to feed them, make sure the water's there. So I had different routes that I was trying, and at that evening, I decided to deviate from Carpenter.
Oh my God. We're starting with the Big Bang Theory here. Did you stop at the sign? Did you stop at the sign? If it doesn't go to that, it's not interesting.
Willis Road to Whitaker, and to go Carpenter Road all the way through Stony Creek to Willow Road.
Mm-hmm.
And this photograph here shows Stony Creek. Okay. And I hadn't been there in weeks, so I had to make sure that I was cautious, make sure that there was no traffic. And so I approached the intersection at about 100 feet, 50 feet, 20 feet, and then 20 feet, maybe 10 feet, and I stopped. There was no traffic.
Not 5 feet?
At all between those times. And so I proceeded through the intersection about 10 miles per hour. Takes me
Okay, so you were going 10 miles an hour and you went through the intersection. You were probably going faster than that, but you were going 10 miles an hour by your own admission through the intersection. That justifies the ticket.
About 100 feet to go 40 miles per hour.
Not to mention the videotape that also shows that.
At this photograph that they have is a picture of a garage, and I hadn't seen anybody use the garage for months when I was going through there, and they had parked probably in line with that stop sign with a big dually truck and a foreign car. So they're in that tape, and I had never seen that tape before. So to me, I stopped before the stop sign, and there was no traffic, and I went through. And this officer pulled me over, and to me, it looked like a woman. She was dressed in a uniform. She had a woman haircut.
She had a full beard. She looks like a man.
I just cannot believe the tape that they showed me, and I have never seen it before. So as far as I'm concerned, and I told whoever was there, the woman, I believed I had stopped because that's what I do. I've been doing it for almost 8-9 months.
This is the big question. I don't know why he's sticking with the officer was a woman, other than here's my theory. Tell me what you guys think in the chat. My theory was initially he was just mad he got pulled over, so he thought it was his method of being insulting. And I'll leave that to y'all as to why. But he thought he was insulting the man. After the fact, he thought, I'll use it to create reasonable doubt. He doesn't think that clearly, but in his muddled pro se sort of way, what he means is, I'll say, well, it couldn't have been right. I mean, I was given a ticket by a woman. And what that would do is create reasonable doubt here. It doesn't, but I think it was initially him attempting to be insulting, and then he translates it into a defense later, thinking he's clever. That's just my guess.
And I stop and I go. And I think my stop was efficient, but it doesn't show on here. It doesn't show on his tape because these vehicles would block it. And so we had a hearing, and I insisted that it was a woman. I cannot believe it's somebody else. And so, my statement.
Thank you. Mr. Lilich, do you have any cross-examination?
So, by your own testimony, you went through that intersection.
Can you speak up?
I'm sorry.
Speak up a little.
Yeah, I'm sorry. By your own testimony, you actually said that you went through that intersection at 10 miles an hour. Is that right? That what you said?
I stopped, and then I started out at 10 miles an hour.
Stop it. Okay. And you still believe that this officer isn't the officer that stopped you. You believe it was a woman. Is that correct?
I can't believe that somebody else. Yes, sir. A little short woman had.
Fresh Hour struggles the entire way through this, keeping her facial expression neutral, and at times she fails.
Woman haircut.
It's delicious.
And you saw the video, right?
Say what?
You saw the video, correct? The video? You saw the video. We showed you the video, right?
Today you showed me a video. All I saw was a little bit of my vehicle going through the intersection.
Yeah, all right. But that was your vehicle, correct?
Yeah, there you go. Affirming that it was your vehicle. I mean, we already know it. You're convicted, but again, that's enough right there.
That was my vehicle.
All right. And there were no obstructions between your vehicle and that video, were there?
Say what?
There were no obstructions between the video and your vehicle. Isn't that right?
Well, once you're going through the intersection, no. Before that, there had to be an obstruction because those vehicles sat for weeks. And then when I stopped to talk to them, they moved and cleared it out because the people were standing, maybe the police were using it as a point to issue tickets. Go ahead.
So you saw the video, you saw your vehicle didn't stop at the stop sign, correct? You did not stop at the stop sign.
You cannot, there does not show me stopping at that intersection, okay?
It does not.
It shows.
Yes, the video does not show you stopping. Once again, the whole reason why we're here.
If you want to parse yardage or feet, then
I think we agree. I think we agree, Mr. Tulaski. The video does not show you stopping at that intersection, correct?
It doesn't show me when I stop, okay? And that road is on an angle, so I'm closer.
I mean, he had stopped the vehicle at some point during that day. Not necessarily at that intersection.
So I'm closer to that stop sign than would be normal, cross a normal cross section. So,
right, but again, the video shows you rolling through that stop sign.
No, it shows me. It doesn't show me stopping because there was no video of that, and then it shows me going through the stop sign.
Right.
Again,
okay.
It's the first time I've been through there, and I had to be real cautious. And there was no traffic, absolutely no traffic for 100 feet. So go ahead.
Okay, so you have to acknowledge today, though, that this was the officer that stopped you, correct? You were just mistaken about the fact that it was a woman, isn't that right?
I cannot believe that person was standing there before me. Okay.
You're mistaken about that, though, right?
Say what?
You are mistaken about that because he's here today and you see the video.
I saw nobody else. I saw nobody else.
Nothing further.
Thank you. You may step down, sir. Mr. Tulaski, do you have any further witnesses?
No.
Okay. Anything further from the people?
Well, Your Honor, I think the evidence is clear that the video shows him rolling through the stop sign, as he says, 10 miles an hour. He's obviously made some mistakes in his thinking about what's happened out there. Again, even today, he still isn't quite certain about, this officer stopping it. The video clearly shows, and this officer clearly testified that it was him out there on the road. It wasn't the woman. And I just think he's got a little bit of a distorted view of what happened out there, and irrespective of what he thinks about where he might have stopped. Okay, the law.
Both of them, you'll see when she gives the ruling, and this prosecutor, nobody really cares. We've got a blown stop sign, but they're both so kind to him and assume everything in his favor as he loses.
Requires that you stop at the intersection before a complete stop before proceeding through, and the video and the testimony clearly demonstrate that he didn't do that, Sherman.
Do you have a closing statement you'd like to make, Mr. Tulaski?
The video shows me going through and being stopped. It doesn't show me stopping before that stop sign because there were obstructions. Vehicles were sitting there now, and they sat there for weeks. But I told the officer, I believed I stopped because that's what I do. I come to a stop sign, I go through, and then I start thinking that I have to proceed. So,
I believe I stopped because that's what I do. Oh, it really is. It really is amusing.
I believed I stopped, and I think I did stop, and you cannot see that on that video.
Judge, I have a tendency not to violate the law, so I'd like that to just to be, I'd like you to take judicial notice of that and just immunize me from any accusations. How's that?
Where I stopped. So, and to me, there was a woman there, and I don't know how somebody else appeared. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything further from the people? Okay. After listening to the testimony of Officer Richardson and Mr. Tulaski, I think everyone who testified tried to testify to the best of their ability and what they remember.
I don't, and I don't think she thinks it either, but it's a very nice thing for her to say.
I think it's clear not only from Officer Richardson's testimony, but his appearance in the video, as well as he is the officer who is listed as the officer who signed the ticket in this, that he was in fact the officer who had pulled over Mr. Tulaski. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why there's some confusion about that, but nonetheless, the most important issue here today is whether or not Mr. Tulaski stopped at the stop sign. I understand that Mr. Tulaski indicates that he may have stopped at some point where there were cars that might have obstructed the officer's view of him stopping, as well as the camera's view. The law doesn't permit you to stop at any point in a road where there's a stop sign. You are to stop at the stop sign, not 500 feet before the stop sign and 1,000 feet. Stopping somewhere further.
That's just downright charming. I mean, we all understand it, but she's gonna say this explicitly and pretend like he might have been confused about it. Nobody thinks he really was. But it's just very, very sweet, the approach.
Northbound on that road didn't mean that you didn't have to stop at the stop sign at the intersection. In the video, I did not see an obstruction and I was able to witness Mr. Tulaski's vehicle approaching the stop sign and then driving straight through without stopping. So on that video, there is no indication that he stopped anywhere even near the stop sign. So if he had stopped at some point, I don't think that was for the stop sign, or it was too earlier to count as stopping at the intersection. Therefore, I am going to find that the people have met their burden and find Mr. Tulaski responsible. It's my understanding that, Mr. Tulaski, you had posted a bond of $130, which is what this ticket was issued for. So I will apply the bond to this ticket and close the case. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Judge Freshour does what we all knew she was going to do. I mean, we have a videotape of a guy rolling a stop sign. And then he admits it. But she is as nice as she can be about it. I'm sure she could have tacked something on or added some costs or something, but she wasn't out to get him or whatever. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. He may appeal this one. He may appeal this one. This should definitely go up to the Michigan Appellate Court. I mean, he's got 3 great defenses. He was arrested by a woman. At least that's his recollection. There was something obstructing the stop sign. Of course, he knew about the stop sign, and it's relevant to the fact that they have a videotape of him rolling through the stop sign. Also that he had stopped his car at some point that day, maybe even on that road, not at the stop sign where it needed to, but that car had not been in continuous motion prior to that. I'm actually confident that that's true. I don't know if it stopped in the zone. Actually, I know it didn't because I saw the video. I'm confident that car rolled right through the stop sign and he got what he was supposed to. So we've got a big $130 ticket. Great job by Old Squishy Gardner. I don't know how he got the stuff from Magistrate Fink to set that up, though. I did a prior video on this. If someone can tell me, put it in the comments or something. I can't tell you where the prior video was. It was probably on a happy hour. It's probably why I can't tell you. Oh, thank y'all for rolling with me too with my 2-minute silent opening. I appreciate that. That's nice. That shows commitment. All right. Thanks a lot for coming out. Have a great Saturday night. I will see you all soon.